ladies and gentlemen, I don't think there was another choice. I got home from another day after 3 days of not flying in my career, my Cabri G2 on the ground, only to find that I am dead broke. This has got me in the hole after 3 days of collecting insurance while not flying. 911,812 credits in the negative as a company balance. This is after 3 days of insurance on an aircraft that was grounded. I don't think I was left with any other choice than the one I made, and I'm honestly, I don't think I'm mad about it. I don't think I'll regret it, but I hope you're along for the journey. Today, I'm not even in career mode. I'm in an aircraft that I know functions, made by the company that is now working directly with Microsoft as a partner for the career mode of 2024. I'm in the HPG H160 once again, the creme de la creme of aircraft. I've got some people on board, and we're going to visit the reshot structure. If you don't know what it is, we're actually in the Sahara Desert. The reshot structure is actually something that can be seen from space. It's one of the largest landmarks on the planet. It is a beautiful spot, and I think we need to go over why I made the decision to choose path number 2. I think the reason is kind of simple. I think it would be impossible if I were to try to recover from just this kind of debt. 911,000 in the hole is something that's nearly unrecoverable. It would take an extremely long time. I think it would take longer for me to recover that money than it would be to just go through the career mode from the start all over again. Because, of course, we know that my initial hunch was that Microsoft would make you go through all of it all over again, and that is, in fact, the case. Yes, indeed, you have to go through all of it all over again. You don't have to necessarily go through the training missions that are listed on the left-hand side prior to getting your CPL. But you do have to go through all of the CPL training leading up to it just once, which is that single flight at your new base. You go up, fly your pattern, come down, and you're on your way. Then you can start to do your first flight again, and you're on your way. You're making money. You're not in the hole. You're in a positive state of income in a very short period of time. Now, I think what I will do is make sure that I have a ridiculous amount of money in the bank prior to launching a new career. And I will not be choosing the premium insurance. I might go with the mid-grade, but not premium. Either that, or I'm just going to keep earning money as an employee until we wind up getting something like a working simulator, or at least the working career mode. Because right now it'd be broken. It'd be broken. And I don't think I'm in for it anymore. I don't think it's going to happen. I know that Thomas James yesterday said that I should just keep making the money, and he wasn't alone. We had some other people comment the same thing. I appreciate your feedback. I hope you can understand the decision that I made. I don't think it's a recoverable thing unless I sit here 24 hours a day and play the sim to make back almost $1 million before I start earning a profit again. And at the end of the day, it really does kind of feel like Ashton's just sitting there. Oh, I got you punked, boy. But either way, I digress. It's such a great simulator. It has such potential. The graphics are simply amazing. I'm literally not even touching the controls of this aircraft right now. I do have the autopilot engaged. That's why I am flying so smoothly right now. I didn't get any notifications from ATC about, you know, flying over an airport that doesn't exist or anything along those lines. I just got in the air and went for a flight. It's pretty great. It's such a beautiful aircraft. Again, you know, the windshield's a little bit busy. It's got a lot of scratches on it. But again, the EFB that's built into this aircraft, I shouldn't say EFB, it's more like a fold-out iPad. This has HEMS missions built right into it. HEMS missions transports. I mean, I could technically be doing missions in this, even though they aren't perfect, without even being in career mode. So if I truly want to go out and do something with a helicopter for a while that, you know, might just resemble something like a HEMS mission, I can get that done. This is the reshot structure. From this altitude, however, it doesn't necessarily look as well as it could. So let's see if we can't disable our autopilot system here by checking our altitude and heading hold and airspeed. We'll turn the navigation off, and we're just going to hand fly this, and we're going to put it up in the air a little bit. Again, this is the Sahara Desert. If I were to consider a place on the planet to possibly call Atlantis, this giant circle in the desert that resembles Atlantis would be my first spot to look. Feel free to join in. I mean, I'm in a free flight, just chilling along the reshot structure. Taking a break after restarting my career from scratch. Can't believe I did it. I truly can't. I didn't want to, but I kind of had to. Well, it is what it is. Let's get this bird up in the air a little bit more. Such a great aircraft. This thing is just beautiful. Simple to fly. Even flying it by hand, I barely got a finger on it. It's like just tapping it. A little bit of a push. Kind of looks like we're at a 30,000 foot hover at this point. This spot is pretty cool. There's the center of the circle. This thing is massive. I'm gonna fly from the back seat for a little bit. How's everybody doing back here? Oh, we do have some ghosting. Look at that. I love it. What's up, dude? The missing bodies. This is epic. Can we open up the door in the flight? Let's just give these people some air while we're here. Make sure they got a good view. Why don't you guys just air out? Anybody wants to go skydiving? Doors are open, okay? No extra cost. Stupid. The decision is final, though. It's already been done. Already got my CPL back. At least fixed wing CPL right off the bat. That's taken care of. It's not going to take long. You know, you start making that money right away. It's not really great money, but I'm just going to immediately only fly the 172 and just bank money on somebody else's insurance until they fix the structuring of the career mode. I'm out. I'm out on a different adventure and finding a different way. Maybe it's not Ashton that's down there. Maybe this should be a picture of Jorg. I got your money. I told you we'd be ready. It's ready to fly to a degree. But man, how disappointing is this? We're talking about a franchise that has been around since the 80s, and they have made a disaster out of something as simple as key bindings. I've, heard from people that they don't mind the key bindings. It didn't take them that long, considering their HOTAS and setup and all of that stuff. It was a pretty easy process for them. But my point is that they're building in conflicts. Yeah, absolutely, Phil. The H-160 fully works in 2024. That's what I am in right now. I am flying in 2024. And we are on board. Not only does it work as far as the, controllability of it, but we have the option to come into the menu system here and choose a HEMS HPG mission transport, since I am in a civilian version of this aircraft right now. The search and rescue is not available for this airframe yet. It's not even available for the H-145 like it was in 2020. I don't even have that model anymore. Mission cannot continue. Yeah, because I'm in the middle of the Sahara Desert. There's probably not much going on out here. However, I did try this at a spot known as Reunion Island not too long ago. That video is also posted up there. But yeah, we were able to start missions. It was giving weird locations just like the 2024 is. But when we got close enough to the individuals, the aircraft recognized that and actually picked them up. And we were able to complete a mission outside of career mode in free flight. Completely functional. I can control the autopilot, no problem. Now, if I select my altitude and heading right now and just do an indicated airspeed, it's going to go ahead and select that. I don't know if you've flown it before, obviously. I think you might have, but yeah, the flight control systems are really easy. If I want to bring my speed down a little bit, I can just dial it back. I want to turn that heading a little bit. We'll just turn that bad boy right here. And over she goes. It's fully functional. It'll trim the whole 9 yards. It is by far the best heli aircraft in 2020 or 2024 as far as I'm concerned. Great question. Thanks for coming by. Good to see you, Phil. She's a pretty aircraft. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Fully functional. If I want to turn the lights off out here, of course we get that wonderful stutter. We can turn the lights down. We can come in here. come into our lights, turn on a logo light from inside, come back outside, and you got that nice neon in the rotor. I love it. Smoothest flying aircraft I've flown so far, without a question. Of course, you know, you still get some issues with like disappearing bodies and stuff like that. The models inside aren't necessarily that great, but honestly, I don't think that's what any of us are really here for. What are you flying? I haven't been able to connect it to my Navigraph just yet. But little nav map is available on here. The Hype Online. And it's extremely similar to the way it was running in 2020. You can play the Flappy Bird, no problem. If you get a little bored on your flight, it works. EFB Connect. Won't even do it, even though there's an EFB built into 2024. Okay, interesting. Excellent, Phil. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you found the place, man. Been doing it literally since the day of the launch. I've been streaming at least one time per day. I've got a lot of content out there about this struggle that this has been. I don't have too much of a background in helicopter flight, although I have flown once. Just got to like take the controls over a Huey when I was about, I'd say, 19 years old. Just did a little bit of a figure eight with it, and that's like full scale helicopter flight. But I remote controlled RC pilot also with a helicopter, and I fly drones as well. As far as the characteristics of these aircraft goes, in 2024, they are pretty realistic. When you take some of the assistance off, it gets a little overreactive in most cases. Like, I understand that there's a lot of play in the rudder movement, cyclic, collective is pretty, you know, in a helicopter, when you're actually moving it, you do have a little bit of a rock back and forth that you have to balance, especially in windy conditions, but it is not as dramatic as it can be within the simulator. It seems to be overly compensating on a lot of the airframes. H-160, on the other hand, not so much. The Huey is a blast to fly. It's one of my favorite. The sound of that aircraft is also extremely cool. Milky Way in the sky right here. Digging it. It also has not put my GTN 750 in there yet, but I have had to kind of play around with my community folder a little bit over the last couple of days, trying to get things to function more properly, to see if some of the issues that I'm having are just the way things are in the folder systems. So it's been an adventure. I think we should actually try to put this thing in a spot somewhere where we can try a mission. I think we give it a whirl. Let's come out of this and end this flight. And let's see if we can't pull off a passenger transport. Look at how big this hole on the ground is right here. Tell me that doesn't look like something where Atlantis would be. I mean, as far as you can come out, it's just still visible. Really cool structure. Where shall we try a mission? How about some Venice? Maybe some Italy, something around here. How about Palermo? Let's see what Palermo is up to. We're just going to go right here to the hospital for now. Set that as a departure. I don't want to fly at night, so bring this into a daytime. Let's choose some weather conditions. Let's throw some few clouds in there. How about that? There we go. Just start that up. If you want to join along, hop in. KSNA. Ah, too bad there's a delay on this. Okay. All right. KSNA. I'll fly in right there. Are you online right now, Phil? Oh, the load-in time, though. The load-in time is everything. Especially in an area you haven't been in before. Alright, let's escape and go back. Oh, what did we break this time? Let's try to put something else in there just to give it a hiccup. There you go. Force feed it. We're going to KSNA. John Wayne. You didn't bring your chicken with you, did you? You filthy animal. Hilarious. That's the medical center. I love flying down here. It's a good little spot. This was close to one of the locations I wanted to originally use for the career mode. You don't have the sim yet. It's still old school XP11. There ain't nothing wrong with that. I will also put a little disclaimer on this one too. My graphics settings are kicked down pretty low right now, just to kind of help with the bandwidth of the stream. I mean, they're not horrible, don't get me wrong, but just so you know, it's not up to its full potential in this stream only because of my settings, and I am doing that on purpose. When I'm not streaming though, I kick those up, and it is an amazing representation of what exists on this planet. It's absolutely cool. Even though I changed the time, it wants to put me in the pitch black. All right. All right. Let's get rid of some darkness first. All right. You work there in real life. Sweet. There's our H1. Oh, what are we? What? Wow. I think we got married today. That's genius. Okay. I wonder if I'm crashing immediately, or how this is going to turn out. This is great. Welcome to your home airport. Hopefully this isn't your truck. That's pretty sexy right there, I gotta say. We'll just hop in. Oh, what? See him when I hop in? Wow, what in the? Yes. All right, we'll get her fired up. A little quick start. I don't think I'm going to take off from inside the aircraft this time. It looks like I'm a little busy. Just south of the tower. Let's see if I can actually. I'll get in the air first so I can maybe see some of my gauges. Right now, it looks like I'm kind of inside of a tanker. It's genius. All right. Kick up the landing gear. Tower's over there. Looks like we got one taking off. Got one on the taxiway. There's a few on the taxiway. Oh, looks like we might have a little bit of a collision. Oh, what's happening here? Quite a bit of traffic at our little spot right here. Yeah, we're just going to fly right over it all. ATC said, who? Coming out of the sky. I'm out of gas. I've been doing this with this aircraft for way too long. I didn't put any gas in it. Even though I was starting the flight in the back of the fuel truck. That's great. Good thing I remembered to map that button. That's just great. Put the landing gear back down. Talking about this guy right here. Wow, let's get this view right, could we? What do you say? I do not fly with any VR glasses or anything like that, not even the IR tracking. I just fly straight 2D, use the controllers to move the cameras. It's pretty fantastic, man. Even further south than this. On top of a building. See, this is one thing that Microsoft said that they were supposed to be doing is modeling all of the helipads. So if there is a helipad on a rooftop over here in real life, there should be one modeled in our sim. I'm not seeing anything that resembles a helipad just yet. We'll take another spin back around. Not so much. See how the graphics are actually quite stuttery right now. Quite. It's doing a little bit better from outside than it is from inside. I think it's actually just the fidelity of the glass cockpit. My controls are a Thrustmaster T 16000M with rudder pedals. They're okay. They're mostly made out of plastic, so every once in a while they'll get a little bit sticky if it's any sort of humidity, you know. So having a dehumidifier in the space is probably going to be really helpful with that. I see it. I see it. Yep, I got it. Yep, she's going to be just outside that window right there. That's your spot, huh? Dig it. My pleasure, my man. Happy to help. Thanks for stopping by. No, this is 2024. Oh, I'm coming down hard. But again, my graphics are pushed way down low, right? So we're still getting some of these chunky trees and everything every once in a while. But that's 100% my graphic settings. I've found that if I go too much higher than this while streaming, the two softwares don't like to play nice together. So I gotta dumb it down a little bit while I'm streaming. Almost down. There we go. She's on the pad. There's another one. Close, but not quite, huh? Yeah, there's a big delay. Come back out here. Try to go slow. It's about the same depth away from the tarmac. The building even has a hangar on top. What? Yeah, I'm not seeing that modeled in sim here anywhere. Is it the one with the two little domes on top of it right here? Blocks south. I see it. I see it. Okay, it has the markings of the PVT on it. So, yeah, it's kind of modeled. It's kind of modeled. There's no H on it or anything like that. We don't get the little plus. See if I can touch down on it. Manic, welcome back. You need to figure out some things how to get. Oh man, let me tell you. Isn't this just a crazy experience? This whole launch of 2024 has been rushed so much. They dropped more than just the ball. I mean, every backboard was broken. There's no more paint on the court. It's just awful. In the career mode, ATC is asking you to do things, and it's not even available as an option. My pleasure, Phil. Pretty sick is right, man. And is the HPG 160 that I actually bought for 2020. Still works better than anything else in the base sim. Even like the Bell, nothing flies as nicely as this thing does at all. So what I had to do with my community folder is kind of disconnect and reconnect it. So I wound up going in and finding the file path to my community folder. Once I had that, I took that community folder and literally cut it out of that directory and stored it somewhere else on my computer. Loaded the sim without anything. Right? And then after I loaded the stream without anything, outside of the computer, after another shutdown of the sim, I moved everything back into my 2024 root folders and reconnected community and reloaded it with my aircraft, and everything's back again. It just went through a update a couple of days ago, and it actually caused more harm than good. So I had to go back and redo quite a bit. So since we're here, let's give this a whirl. I want to try this because I think it's going to be funny if it actually works and we can pick up some more patience. But let's go to missions. Pain in the butt went from nearly S class to the wrong side of the sea, and rep shocking does that effect. Absolutely it does. It absolutely affects how many you get. Here's what they did to me, brother. They brought my account negative over 900,000 just off of insurance. Even though I wasn't flying the aircraft, my crew was in an off configuration, and I was getting charged for the insurance, even though they told us that it wouldn't be charging you as long as you were in an off configuration. Over 900,000. So I decided to just say, you know what? I'm starting over. So I did. From scratch. I got to go all through it all over again. Let's see here. I'm going to go into a mission. We'll do a transport. Passenger transport. I should have plenty of options from here. Transport civilian passengers between nearby helipads. Start from the map by selecting a helipad point of interest, or from the library to get a random assignment. Fly to a pickup location. So I could literally just zoom out right now. A little bit of a ride to get there. Yeah, man, it's more than just sad. It's pathetic because we're talking about a company. It's a franchise that has been around since the 80s. It's incredibly, it's not even realistic. Because I was flying as a employee at the time, not as a freelancer. So the aircraft that I was in technically wasn't even mine. Why am I being, you know what I'm saying? I would get it if it was a little different and I was in my aircraft doing missions for my company under my insurance policy, but that wasn't the case. And they hit me with it anyway. They got a lot of fixing to do. And the patch that they just released actually it broke more things. I love the simulator. I've been flying this since the 80s. You know what I mean? I'm a I'm a lifer with this, flying choppers and having fun flying around the world in my free time is just so relaxing. For them to come out with something so tragically broken is just hard. It's just awful. It's a shame. A lot of the missions are broken. Even the flight scene. You could have an absolutely perfect mission. Everything's great. You don't get dinged by by ATC for flying over a golf course that they think is an airport. And the mission's literally perfect. And you only get 77% for the quality of flight scene. It's absolutely stupid. The most basic thing. All right, I think we should just throw the good old autopilot on here. Let's set some things up. So let's go into a map. We're going to go ahead and set a heading bug. I'd say somewhere right around. Let's go right about there. Let's bring our indicated airspeed up to around 100 and I don't know, there. And we'll just do an alt hold. So we're going to come in, we're going to set our altitude, we're going to do a heading bug and an indicated airspeed and just take the hands off the controls for a little bit and go check things out. Try to do that in a mission when you're in career mode. And it's not